Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll sing the song, Jai Radha Madhava. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha, Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Prajakacharya Sodara Shata Sriman A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, we'll read the verse. It's Bhagavad Gita 15.15, and after that we will do the invocation prayers, and then we'll start. Okay, so it's Bhagavad Gita 15.15. I'll read the one sentence and then you can follow up. Sarvasya chaham hridisha nivisto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedeshracha sarver aham eva vedyo Vedanta krit vedavid eva chaham. Anyone would like to repeat? Sarvasya chaham hridisha nivisto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedanta sarvaraham eva vedyo Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chaham. Anyone else? Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivisto. Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivisto. Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Vedasya Sarvaraham Eva Vedyo. Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chaham. Mataji's? Anyone? Give it a try. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivisto mata smriti jnanam apohanam cha Vedeshu sarvan aham Vedanta Kriyada Vedeva Chaham. Any other Matajis? Sarvasya Chaham Vidisanivisto Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedesvata Sarvam Vedeva Vedanta Kriyada Vedeva Chaham. Okay, now we will read the synonyms and then translation. Sarvasya, of all living beings. Cha and, but you can repeat if you want. Cha and aham, ahai. Hridi, in the heart. Shani Vista, situated. Mata, from me. Smriti, remembrance. Jnanam, knowledge. Apohanam, forgetfulness. Cha and Vedaya, by the Vedas. Cha, also. Sarve, all. Aham, I am. Eva, certainly. Vedaya, knowable. Vedanta. Vedanta Krit, the compiler of the Vedanta. Vedavit, the knower of the Vedas. Eva, certainly. Cha and Aham, I. Right. The translation is, I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Veda, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Okay, now we'll do the prayers, and then followed by that, we'll have a class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chevam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamuditret Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, we'll do invocation prayers. Om Anyana, we'll read together. Om Anyana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakaya Chakshushu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunantavitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Prananami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhaevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Paraya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. Okay. I want to know who are all new devotees here or first time here in the temple. First time. Okay. We'll say Haribol 3 times. Haribol! 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 Welcome everyone. Welcome new devotees for first time if you are coming here. Welcome everyone to the wonderful palace of Gauranitai. Right. We'll start. So this is 15.15 Vedesraj. We'll read the translation once again. I'm seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So this purport is quite long. We'll read just one paragraph, and then I'll start explaining. So the purport goes like this: the Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from Him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life, but he has to act at the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. He awards the different fruity results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the supreme personality of, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to God and back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasadeva is a compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives a real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is a supplier and the digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus, God is all good, God is all merciful. Okay, there is one more para, but we don't need to read now. Right. So, here in this paragraph, Krishna is talking about, in fact, Paramatma. Now, before we understand Paramatma, we have to understand, like, okay, what is this? What they are even talking about. So, in this whole chapter, Krishna is actually talking about he is the maintainer of this whole world, not just this whole world, the whole material universe. Not just even material universe, even he is the maintainer of whole spiritual world. Now, to understand this, there is something called Brahman realization. So, Brahman realization, it implies that we are the spirit soul. So, to know what it is, it's like we are not a body and we are the spirit soul. So, that's like the basic understanding to come to even understand this Gita is like, okay, we are not this body. So we have like various designations. So let's say I'm a poor person, or someone who is like extremely wealthy, or who is like CEO of some company. They are all just material designations. And so, so Krishna is saying this is just material designations, and we are not that is not the actual identity, and we are just a spirit soul. So that is that realization itself is called Brahman realization. And now, once we know this Brahman realization, there is something else to be understand. Like, okay, now who created this? So Krishna is saying, like, okay, here I'm the Lord is the Supreme Spirit. So these two concepts, like I am the spirit soul, I'm not this body, and Lord is the Supreme Spirit. This is like the first level of understanding, and it says like, okay, this is the first level called Brahman realization. Now, to understand this, the next step goes is the Paramatma realization. That means you get the understanding or the knowledge. Now, where to get this knowledge? And this whole knowledge is explained in Bhagavad Gita. And he's actually talking about himself and the devotees, and of course, the whole material world. And that's why he's talking about Paramatma realization. So we have to understand this Gita to understand our true nature and where we are situated. So that's where he is saying, like, okay, Paramatma. So he is situated in everyone's heart. So he's explaining that whoever you are, whether a person, a human, or an insect, or an animal, anything, any living entity in this whole material world is having a soul. And this soul is along with that soul, there is a super soul as well, which is Paramatma. And he is situated in everyone's heart. One might ask, like, okay, if the spirit soul is there, or the supreme soul is there with me, how can I don't know him? I don't even know about anything about him. Why? Now, this is where he's saying there is something called forgetfulness, knowledge, and remembrance. So, this forgetfulness is so we as a soul, we are always excited or even getting passionate about all the material things, material, you name it. Say for example, um, think about in a classroom where two kids are studying. Well, many kids, but the two best friends, or they are studying in the same class, and this friend is right next to him. He's his best friend. Let's assume that. And this kid is there is a window, and he's looking at the window, and there is a yatula. I mean, the ice cream van. So his focus is right on ice cream, nothing else. And his best friend is sitting right next to him. So this best friend is constantly nagging him, hey, 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 I'm here. But he's completely disregarded and he's just looking at the ice cream. That's it. He just wants ice cream. That's it. So this analogy, what I'm trying to explain is this ice cream is all material things, just for sense gratification. And we completely forgot about his the best friend, who is the Supreme Soul, so Krishna. So he's just right next to us, but we are unable to understand him. So that's where he's saying, like, okay, Paramatma, the realization is when you actually reach out to your best friend. So we always have to remember uh, Supreme Spirit Soul is always there within us, within our heart. It's just we are ignoring him. Now, once we understand that, in fact, there is a very good example in Bhagavad Gita. It's in chapter 4, where, in fact, chapter 5, sorry. It says, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. He is saying Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam literally means Suhridam is like the well wisher, or the he's actually the benefactor and also the well wisher. So he's our the best friend. And someone I know there are many people in this world and who are alone, one thing I must definitely say, if you feel like loneliness and all that, always remember there is one soul who is always with you, who is the Supreme Spirit Soul, who is Krishna. He is with you all the time. So always remember that if you feel lonely or whatever, of course we have devotees here, but there are some situations where you will be alone or for some scenarios. So always remember the Supreme Soul is always with you. So now going back to the again to the verse, so he's talking about forgetfulness, knowledge, and remembrance. Now, what is this forgetfulness? Other than the sense gratification, forgetfulness is all about. So Krishna is talking about this forgetfulness is not like okay, today I forgot something. Let's say mobile. Very unlikely people are unable to forget their mobiles, but yeah, let's assume that people forget their mobile at home. So it's not that forgetfulness. No, Krishna is talking about the forgetfulness is so because we are a spirit soul, we are eternal. So we take many incarnations in this world, many, many, many. Not just in this world, many planets. Now, when we take these incarnations, uh, whenever we obtain a new body, it's not good to remember the old life. And I'll give you one example. Imagine if a person in his previous life he was a boar and he was killed by a lion and the that incident if there is no such thing as forgetfulness and if he is remembering that and if he comes in his next life, let's as a human, he'll be horrified just to remember that scenario that he's been killed by a lion. Or let's say that if a person is having a, let's say, 10 wives and he had money and he got killed just by his sons or something. And in the next life, he's like living like a saint. And if he still remembers, that's like a horrible thing. And he'll say like, okay, what kind of bad deeds he did. So, in short, so Krishna is giving this forgetfulness. So, whenever we obtain a new body, we don't have to remember our old lives. It's actually like a kind of a boon, actually. You don't have to remember all those nasty things and even the good things, both. So, it's like a new start phase of life. Now, another part is knowledge. Now, here, knowledge again, Krishna is talking about not like any random material knowledge. He is very specifically talking about the Vedic knowledge. And Vedic knowledge is, of course, Gita is one of them. And this knowledge is more about talking about absolute truth, which is like to know about Him, which is like Krishna consciousness. And the third one is remembrance. Now we know, okay, this book is this Bhagavad Gita and all other books, Vedic books, is giving us knowledge. Now, this remembrance is Krishna is giving enough remembrance that when you approach these books, you are able to understand it. And even though it's quite complex, but Krishna gives you the ability to understand it. Now, this covers like forgetful knowledge and remembrance. Now, we'll go to the next slide because there is uh, in this verse, he's talking about Vedanta Krit, Vedavid. So he's saying like I'm the compiler of Vedas and I'm knower of the Vedanta. So we have to understand what is this Veda and what is Vedanta Sutra. And this Vedas, in simple terms, is just talking about Veda is literally translated to knowledge in English. If you think about the synonyms, it literally stands for knowledge. Uh, Now, before we go here, like why we have to refer Vedas, we have to understand uh, we are a soul, but the soul is not like normal soul. So when we came on this earth or in any other planets in this material world, we are conditioned. So when I say conditioned, it has like four defects mainly, especially for humans. So I'm talking about the humans, and there are four mistakes or four problems which we have. So one of them is commit mistakes. Second is to be illusioned. Third is cheating propensity, and fourth is imperfect senses. Now, when I say these four things, commit mistakes, to be illusion, cheating propensity, imperfect senses. So these are all our defects. This is something which we cannot even avoid because we are bound to this material world. Now, when I say commit mistakes, as a human, we do so many mistakes. In fact, yesterday we were talking, me and my friend, there's one devotee here, I don't know where he is now. So we were coming back from exercise, gymming, and we are coming to look out for the station. And we were blaming railway company, saying like, oh, hey, they don't even give proper indications, anything. And the worst part was, 5 minutes later, we found out there was indication, but we simply ignored it. And so yeah, so we do lots of mistakes. In fact, that's a part of our nature. As a human, we commit so many mistakes. Now, second one is illusion. Now, this is very funny actually. We say, have you seen any people who confidently say like, I'm the rich person. I'll say whatever I want, and that is true. Uh, in fact, you will see across your life like where they are so confident, like they know everything, everything, any subject, any topic. They'll say, "I know everything." So that's classic illusion. It's almost impossible. You can know everything. Say, for example, if a person says, "I'm a scientist," you can let's say he's a scientist of in the field of medical field, and someone is from electronics, let's say electronics, or some other field, let's say someone from journalist. So if he asks him, okay, you are a scientist, can you talk about something about how to make a radio? Clearly he can't answer that. That's almost impossible. So illusion is one of the classic examples. Cheating propensity. Okay, this one is, I don't need to explain, but yeah, it's our inherent nature. We, at some point or somewhere, we have our own selfish mind, no matter what we say. Um, so that is a kind of a cheating as well. And the fourth one, imperfect senses. Okay, the imperfect senses. Although we have eyes, in fact, our eyes are quite good to see in visible spectrum, but it has a lot of flaws, lot of flaws. Even our senses, lot of flaws. To give you one simple example, imagine if you are in next to the beach, and uh, and you are seeing a ship in far away distance. When I say far away, I'm talking about few miles. So when you see the shape, usually, if you observe carefully, it's hovering above the sea level. You can see a small gap. And of course, from my eyes, we say, like, okay, that ship is actually above the sea level, is actually over the air. That's not true, right? Because it's on far away, it's on the sea, but our eyes are illusion, or it's giving a false sense that, okay, it's floating on the air. So, yes, so our senses are imperfect. Now, okay, now we understood like our conditioned soul is have so many defects. Now there might be a question arising like, okay, now whom to trust or what to do. So to do this, we have to understand three evidences. There are three types of evidences. One is like pratyaksha, direct evidence. When I say direct evidence, so let's say sun rises in the east. So you know, okay, that's a direct evidence. But is it fully true? There is always half information, right? The sun is revolving around, or the earth is revolving around the sun. So those information we don't see at all. So it's like half information. Next is anumana, inductive knowledge or hypothesis. So one classic example of hypothesis is, let's say Darwin's theory. And this theory is talking about, okay, how we humans evolved from, let's say, monkeys. And now when he says that, that's why it's called theory. It's a hypothesis. It's never been proven, or it takes significant amount of time to prove it, like whether is it really true or not true. Yes. So again, this knowledge is like um, not fully true. And after that, Shabda Pramana. So this is the final one where it says, okay, receive the knowledge from authoritative sources. So here we are saying this is the knowledge which has been given from someone who is an expert. And this knowledge is coming from the actual laws. To give you some example, let's say in Max, I'm sure everyone has studied Max when they were kids. So someone says like, okay, this is a segment. Now this segment, it's from one dot to another dot which is connected. We always assume we take it as granted, like, okay, that is segment. Now who says that? It's we consider that as like the final statement. So that's like an axiomatic law. Now, that's why it's called Shabda Pramana. So, this is like a final knowledge where there is no questions about it. Now, Vedic knowledge is also a Shabda Pramana. It's like one of the evidences. And in fact, it is known by another name called Shruti in Sanskrit. It's like knowledge which is simply heard by oral reception. Now, this Vedas is been here in this material universe, or even the spiritual, in fact the material universe, through time immemorial. uh, in fact there was only one Veda when it came in this whole existence. Now um, when this Veda was given, of course, many thousands of years back, we as humans were quite smart, quite intelligent, and we were able to understand very clearly. But over a period of time, that's been lost. In fact, our this is Kali Yuga. In current generation, we as humans are so bad even in understanding simple things. In fact, our knowledge is so, in fact our focus is so minute. To give you some example, I believe everyone uses a social platform, right? Instagram, you name it, Facebook, whatever. So they have like a short videos, like very literally 5-second clip, 10-second clips. Our focus is so bad. We are always looking for some kind of sense gratification. Their algorithms are so good to keep us focused. They keep on giving bombarded with lots of videos. So, what I'm trying to explain is our intellectual ability has deteriorated significantly in this world. Now, Veda Vyasa, he's one of the, he's in fact Lord himself in incarnation. He's one of his incarnation. So he divided these four Vedas into four categories: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. And each one has different purposes. I am sure you can see on the slides that one is about talking about chanting, sacrifice, singing. Another one is for the household. Now, this Rig Veda has, when it was, when this four Vedas, when it was written, even that one is so complex. Um, it has to be explained by the gurus. Now, in fact, this Vedas was always been explained by teachers. To give you one example here shortly, let's assume that we are all here and we want to gain some knowledge, and especially we want to gain some knowledge on, we'll talk about Vedas only. We want to gain some knowledge on Vedas. So what we will do? Should we go and go on the street ask randomly some guy like, okay, what is Veda? He might just reply with the answer, go man, you are a madman, go away. I won't answer you. I don't even know what you're talking about. So that's a silly thing, right? We don't go and ask randomly. To give you another example, let's say you are sick and you need some medicines. You don't go to a street vendor, let's say he's selling donuts, and you go and buy a donuts to cure your illness. That's not possible. You have to approach someone who is authentic. So you go to the pharmacy, get the medicines, or you go to the GP, in fact, the medical doctor will give you the prescriptions. So similar way, this Vedas was explained by gurus. Now, I'll just give you a quick another understanding. I have given lots of other information. So this Shruti, which was spoken, which is oral reception, it has many books which was written. So one of them is Vedas, Upanishads. In fact, there are 108 types of Upanishads. And this Vedas, when it was written, they were all like texts or in short sentences, which were quite difficult to understand. And what happened is, Vedavasa then thought, okay, to explain it to current generation, Kali Yuga, which is our generation now, he wrote many Puranas and many Puranas. In fact, there are 18 Puranas, and each one is for different purpose. Now, one of the Purana is Mahabharata. So it is written in a story form, and within the Mahabharata, there is a section where Lord Krishna is helping Arjuna to fight a war against his brothers, Kauravas. When I say the 100 brothers, who Kauravas is his cousin brothers, and his own brothers are with him. So that is called Bhagavad Gita. So that whole verse conversation going on between Krishna and Arjuna is called Bhagavad Gita, the song of God, and this whole is called Shruti and Smriti, because it's not just explanation, but it's also a Shruti, because it's spoken by Lord Krishna himself. Now, once you understand that the Shruti, okay, this Bhagavad Gita, this whole Bhagavad Gita and Puranas were explained anyway, but Veda Vyasa was thinking, okay, sorry, I got confused one of them. So Vedanta Sutra, I forgot about Vedanta Sutra. So when he wrote the Vedas, he wrote a summary of it, and this was meant for philosophers and even scholars. What it means is it's just a summary of Vedas, and in fact, in Vaishnava Sampradaya, there is a commentary written on it by Baladeva Vidyabhushana. And this commentary is written by many sampradayas, not just Vaishnava itself. There are many versions. Now, so in short summary of all this from this slide is, so Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of Vedanta Sutra, and Vedanta Sutra is the essence of all the Puranas, and Puranas and Mahabharata is also all the essence of Vedas. Now, I talked about disciplic succession. Now, when I say disciplic succession, this is explained by gurus, spiritual master. Now, who are these gurus, and how should you approach them? So he's here. There is a nice verse in 4.2 in Bhagavad Gita. It says, "Param evam parampara praptam." So it is explained. Krishna is telling to everyone, saying like, okay, there was a disciplic succession, so you have to understand through this method. And okay, now we understood like, okay, it's through disciplic succession. Now next question arises is, who is the spiritual master? and how we know him. So they have a very two peculiar things, and they always maintain that. So they always explain the scriptures as it is explained in the Veda. So they don't deviate with it. So that's one of their best qualities. And the second quality is they know the Brahman realization, that we are all spirit souls, and the Lord is the supreme spirit soul. Now, once we understand that, the next we'll go to the next topic. In fact, this verse we will read all together. So this is explaining how to approach Guru. So now we are all like humans, right? Okay, we know there is Guru. Now, how we should approach him? There is a nice verse in 4.34. We'll read it together. Tadvidi prani patena परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. So here it's said like, okay, you have to approach the spiritual master to learn the absolute truth. And to learn from him, we have to inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. What he means by that is, imagine these gurus, usually they are very so humble and very compassionate. And if you show our pride or envy, it will be horrible, right? So say for example, I'm like the super rich person, and I say, no way, I'm not going to listen to this guru. Who is he? No, that's our pride. So it's stopping us to approach a guru. And in fact, a guru won't be even bothered to explaining it to us. So guru is quite important. You have to approach him very submissively and render service unto him. Now, in when I talk about gurus, there are actually four sampradayas, four lineages. So there are four gurus, and in fact, the first sampradaya is Brahma Sampradaya. Second one is Lakshmi. Third one is Shiva. Fourth one is four Kumaras. So each one have different gurus. So our sampradaya, in fact, what we are following here in Krishna consciousness, because we are following the Vedic scriptures. So Krishna consciousness movement, in fact, ISKCON was established just to explain these Vedic scriptures. So if you can see on your right, everyone said there is Srila Prabhupada, who is our guru, who is the Acharya, and who is following, in fact, all the Vedic principles have been explained by him. In fact, this book, Bhagavad Gita, the commentary is given by Srila Prabhupada. And in fact, once they open up the altars, you can keenly observe there are many gurus. So we are all following the disciplic succession. So there are many gurus above Srila Prabhupada as well. Now, I've given a list. Of course, I'm not going to read all of them. So if you go and open the book Bhagavad Gita, in the introduction chapter, it's showing the whole lineage, right from Krishna itself and all the way till Srila Prabhupada. And of course, the current generation, there is more and more gurus. So anyone who is wondering like, okay, whom to approach, you know the answer now. So please inquire from other senior devotees. There are many senior devotees here as well. So please inquire from them. Who are these gurus? And if you want to get the initiation, get shelter from him, Guru Maharaj. There are many Guru Maharaj. So please inquire. Now, we'll go to the next topic and probably I'll end here. So, the last topic, in fact, in this verse, Krishna was telling, okay, you approach me through getting the knowledge. So, we understood that this knowledge is Gita. Now, Krishna will be very happy if we understand it through proper Vedic scriptures. That's why he's saying, like, okay, you read Bhagavad Gita and you understand me. The whole purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is to understand Krishna and to approach him. And not just Gita, anything, Vedas, all the scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So So we need to have three main things: desire, determination, and devotion. When I say desire, determination, and devotion, um, imagine, in fact, it's very. So all the devotees who are here, I'm really appreciating you. They all made an effort to come here. Highly commendable, and came here to see Krishna and Gauranitai in the form of Gauranitai. So I'm sure there are many people, maybe at this time, very likely sleeping now, even though they might be thinking like, okay, I need to reach God, but they will be like, oh no, it's too much effort. I can't get up. I'm tired. Go and watch some movies. Okay, Krishna, you are there. Okay, nice to see you. So there is nothing there. There is no determination. Of course, we have desire, but no determination. So what's the point? So it will never end. So we need these three things: desire, determination, and devotion. So I talked about this devotion, this word, right? What is this devotion? So devotion is um when we approach Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it's saying you have to approach in a certain way. So there are lots of activities and things which are done with in loving service to Krishna. So that is called devotion, or in fact, that is in a simple terms, it's literally called bhakti yoga. There is one more picture down where it is talking about many other things: karma yoga, asanga yoga. So in this whole Gita, Krishna is explaining all other processes are there. It's not like it's not will lead to Krishna. It will lead to Krishna, but it's a difficult process, and that processes were meant for different yuga or different time zones or different generations. So we are not in that generation. For current generation, it's only chanting or the devotion, bhakti yoga. So so in this yoga, we everyone are encouraged to do chanting. Now, I'll um, I'll say one more thing, and then I'll stop here. So, how many people here? I just want to see how many people do chanting. When I say chanting, you verse you talk about, or you talk softly about Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I want to know who are all doing it here every day. Can you all raise your hands? Yes. Haribol. Very nice. Haribol. Okay, so who are all have never done it or don't even know what it is? So I'll quickly explain and then we'll stop. Okay, so this is a beat bag. You don't need the beat bag, so you need the beats. So this beats is Japamala. So it contains 108 beats. So this 108 beats, what it literally indicates 108 is 108 Upanishads. So I just shown you, right, Vedic scriptures. So in that Vedas, there are 108 Upanishads. So it literally represents that 108 Upanishads. So I want, so everyone uh, who have time, there is a nice shop nearby, in fact, within our temple. So go and please buy one of them and do meditation. And I'm sure it's not very expensive. It's not even the cost of your hot drink. So please go and purchase one and do chant every day, 108 rounds. Start okay, and the best part is, some I've heard some from some devotees, or even they are very new. They might say, "Oh no, I'm not eligible enough, or I've done so many sins. There's no way I can chant." No. So chanting has no. You are not making any offense. So please chant and always remember Krishna. So start, maybe some who have never done from anything. So start from today, chant, do some devotional service, and see how your life changes. Uh, I'm not giving an example, but in fact, let's say after 1 week, if you see me, just let me know how your chanting went. So no one is going to force you like, okay, you should chant. This is your life, your dedication, your determination. So you have approached Krishna. This is your beginning of your spiritual journey. So start from today and give it a try. There is no harm in it. So whatever you do in your life, do exactly what it is. But do one small addition. Start chanting. Even start even with one round. Uh, See how your life changes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have a question. First, I have a comment, and then I have a question to follow up.
Yes, Prabhu.
If I can.
Yes, Prabhu.
I agree with you in so many ways that there's a lot of degradation in society and about Kali Yuga and all of this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you made a comment that we only can look at very short videos online and we don't have focus.
Yeah.
And the perspective that I have is a little bit different.
Yes, Prabhu.
Because I remember that when I was in school, and I was in school altogether 15 years, I was considered someone who didn't have much of an attention span. And then when I graduated from university, even from a topic that I was deeply interested in, then I found audiobooks. It was not controlled information like I was given my whole life mostly. And my studentship exploded. And I discovered that I'm one of the most curious person and willing to learn everything all the time. In fact, I spent most of my day learning things. So it was about the information that I was given, not so much about whether I had a problem with the attention span. Now, if you look at the short videos that we watch, it's all across the world from different cultures all the time. People give you short snippets of what is going on in the world.
Yeah.
So we get a massive picture from these short videos of the big picture of the world, actually.
Yeah.
And I understand that a lot of it is Maya, not maybe worth all of it knowing, but still we get a picture unlike we used to get in a very different way.
Yeah.
But where we really get to a different kind of perspective to human attention span is, for example, the podcast of Joe Rogan. Some of it sometimes goes nearly up to 4 hours, and it is the most listened to podcast in the world. The downloads are in the billions, and they go most often over 2 hours. So if you have good information and the information that people are actually interested in, they can listen to simply some other people talking for hours and hours on end. Sometimes many episodes in a day, even, if you have enough time to listen. So that's maybe a different perspective of how badly we've either degraded or whether we now just have better information than we've ever had before as we're connected globally this way. So that's maybe just a contribution to what you were saying, that not so hopeless in our perspective of humanity.
Yes.
But the question that I have for you is, I completely understand what you're saying, that we have to go to a spiritual master, and we have to be submissive, and we have to be humble to start to learn this information. But as you also very well know, there's many scammers in this world who pretend to be these very spiritually uplifting people, and then you submit to the wrong person and you're really kind of screwed. Yes. So how do we know who is the real guru and who is not?
Yes. So this one thing I would say here, a short answer is very short answer. I'm worried about the time as well. So very short answer to identify the spiritual guru. You will know when you are being with them, when they are talking, they will say something else. I'm just giving a short example. So they say something else. I'm talking about very like scammers. They'll say very good things, very flowery words, but as soon as they leave that place or that area, and when they are on their own, and if they are doing something silly, and very likely and usually the followers who are doing that, they can easily pick it up. Are they really truthful or not? So that's where your spirit soul is telling you, say, okay, he's a scammer. You go and approach someone else. So that's a short answer. Of course, there is a huge topic. I have to take another lesson if I have to explain everything. So
that would be very interesting, actually, if someone did a whole lecture on how to navigate that situation.
Yeah. There are many lectures from many our senior devotees and many gurus. So when I say gurus, in our ISKCON as well, there are many gurus who have talked about on this topic. So watch videos. There are so many in YouTube. You can go and watch. Of course, don't get deviated with so many other things. I would say like stick to the ISKCON devotees or gurus. So at least to some extent it's a bit controlled, because if you go randomly watch any other lineage, because we don't know how many different type of gurus are there. At least I don't know that information. So you have to ask, if you want to go and search in other lineages or other sampradayas, approach the bona fide gurus. So don't go randomly search any random fake gurus. It will be horrible. It will be super horrible. And one more thing, Vedas always talk about many things. So there are many ways to approach Krishna, and one of them is karma kanda. Karma kanda literally means to gain some benefits from this world. When I say benefits, literally you can go from. There are lots of yogis you might have seen. There are who claims, or some are even true, who are honest. They can even say like, I can increase my temperature and decrease my temperature. So these are all one of the siddhis. Some are possible, some are truthful. So these are all through Vedas. So they learn that and they do that. But this is not going to lead you anywhere, because there is some selfishness involved there. He wants to show the world that I have something special abilities. So that's not the point of Krishna. Krishna is saying, okay, you approach me, I give you these abilities for something else. So it's all like certain steps for certain kinds of people. So we are all here. I would recommend definitely to everyone, don't waste time on that. It's just useless. And do the bhakti yoga, which is to approach Krishna. He is the supreme personality of Godhead, and you can go to the Vaikuntha or many other planets which he has established in the spiritual world. So, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have one comment. Right?
Yes,
If
Prabhu.
you ask how to know if someone is a real guru or fake, just remember the realest guru is Radha Krishna. Surrender to Radha Krishna and then he will show you the way. That's the easiest process.
Hari Bol.
It's just truth.
Okay. Okay. I recommend everyone to chant, please. And I want to hear from every one of you after 1 week or after 1 month. Please come and approach, not just me alone, even senior devotees, and say like how your chanting is going on. Hare Krishna.